Cheat, what happened last time?
Well, we were on the high port, got off, and we were going around looking for goods to buy that we could sell. Right? Is that right?
Yeah.
And we or no, we didn't we have beer from 2 sessions ago?
Yeah, we sold that.
Okay, so we sold that this last session, right?
Yeah.
So we sold the beer,
You almost got shot.
and
You were trying to find a place to sell the beer, and there was a
that's
dumpster
right,
involved.
right, yeah. You definitely don't wanna go behind, to the loading docks of, any place, really, 'cause that's where all the gangsters, hang out and do their business, as we can see in every movie that you've ever seen. Um, so, yeah, we almost got shot, but we took cover and, avoided that mess, and, then we joined up with the rest of the folks, I think the captain and, the other fellow, I can't remember his name now. They were, trying to look for something, trying to look for, stuff to sell or a job or something like that.
Yeah, we were looking for
Stuff to buy.
yeah.
Yeah. And, anyway, so I think we loaded up with something and then we took off for the stars. Is that what happened?
Almost.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's kind of two different. So yeah, there was the trying to sell the beer. There's two phases. Last time there was let's sell the beer, and like you guys split up, and one group went to like some poor, corporate office situation where they talked to this guy and he's like, oh, it just turns out this event I need to actually have a bunch of cheap beer, in fact. And then meanwhile, you all were at the cheap event, and there was this labor union situation with the dock workers there. And in the back of it, two people came out. You don't know what they were doing, but as soon as they saw that you saw them, they started trying to kill you. And you dove into a dumpster, and then they ran off. And but you did replenish their beer for said event. And then like there was this crime scene, and you all were like, you've finalized the sale with Bellamy, and I think it was Books maybe went with him, showed up, and like you guys just scooted out of there like good luck with the beer. And then the
As
second,
soon as we made the sale, the comms came through. We're getting shot at.
yeah,
Gotta go.
as soon as after you sold the beer, the next thing was trying to find more stuff, and you found stuff to buy, but then like the other thing is and I think it was you, I think it was Marcello and Bellamy in this case went to the bar, and you guys got like kind of the scoop on some maybe dissidents. They talked about this guy called Robinson's Reavers, which you know from the war. They claim that he's like this, in their mind, this freedom fighter, and that he's trying to like overthrow the subsector government, the domain of Deneb.
And he's gathering veterans to himself for that purpose.
Yeah. And that they're gonna like set things right, here in I said subsector, but I should say sector. And then meanwhile, the other group was talking to this group of aid workers, the Red Sun, and they are trying to get to this planet Raleigh, and they've been stuck here, and they've kind of been mistreated. Because they're seen as Imperials, and it seems like people hate Imperials, so they're offering like full pay for double bunking to transport them directly to Raleigh. So now you got a load of textiles and a double load of passengers that are double bunked. They claim Raleigh is in a place of almost like civil collapse, though.
Yes, but everyone needs clothes.
Indeed.
Right.
So here's the map, and you are currently on Asteltine. Asteltine is a kind of an asteroid type thing, and that's what you're on currently. It's this massive industrial type asteroid. In fact, the main export here seems to be just ore haulers, big ships just hauling off rich things of ore, and belters and miners pulling ore out of these rocks. And it's an indie place, and Imperials aren't too welcome here. Some of the enemies of the Imperium seem to be a little bit welcome, though.
Yeah. And I want nothing to do with that.
Or do I?
They can keep their high-minded ideals to themselves, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Well, you say that as you're getting ready to load up all your high-minded ideal people that you're hauling to a high
Well,
ideal.
no. These
all
people are humanitarians. It's different from the people who are trying to revolt. But yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
You notice some people barring your way. It looks like some of the security guards are missing here. It's clear to you they've been paid off. And there's a line of thugs between you and the departure into customs that would exit into to the starport, so you could load the lady and leave. And one of the thugs is like, "Captain, we don't take kindly to helping out a bunch of Imperial meddlers here. Maybe you ought to just leave these people with us."
Who are you again? See, I got streetwise and a low social, so this should be perfect for me.
Nice.
I'm not making any pretenses to any Imperial connection myself. I'm just doing a job.
Yeah,
Now, why don't you step out of my way and help your own planet out by encouraging trade here instead of discouraging it, making things harder for yourselves and everybody else. I say loudly to whoever it is that can hear around me.
Wow. Make why don't you make the reaction roll, but you can add like a +3. Nice. So what is that? That's
12.
12. And at this, meanwhile, what is Marcello and Shipley doing? Like when you see this happening?
I'm stepping by a little bit and keeping my eyes on. You said there are other people with the guy who's confronting Bellamy?
Yeah, there's 7 of them.
Okay, then I'm going to step a little clear of Bellamy and the guy and keep my eyes on his friends.
Okay.
Armed with what?
Guns. I mean, oh, go ahead. And then Marcello, what is Marcello doing?
Yeah, Marcello knows when he's outnumbered, so he keeps his hands clear of his body and steps back a little bit, trying to appear unthreatening, and stands there in support of the captain.
All right, yeah, you do that, and they see that you're armed as well. And there's several of you, and they note also, like Bellamy, you said that you're just trying to make money. And he's like, "Think maybe you'll solve us one of our problems, Captain. Get these people out of here."
It's our pleasure to solve any problems we come across, as long as it makes us a little bit of coin, pay the bills.
they step out of the way, but then he's like, just don't come into this port and cause problems for hard way shipping.
I don't want to cause problems for anybody. Nobody at all. You get me?
Yeah, they're kind of like walking off as you say this, and the
Okay, that's
yeah,
fine. I'll walk off too. I'll say it to the room. You know what I mean? I'll say it into the echoing halls. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. This is a spaceport. I don't know how busy it is, but it is a Class B.
right. Yeah, it's kind of. It looked like they had asked the guards to like leave them in this area, but yeah, you've
Yeah,
convinced
I'll
them
make
that-
an embarrassing scene of
Yeah.
myself, and but I'll do so in service of our what I want our reputation to be. You know, we're not trying to stand in anybody's way or cause any trouble.
All right, you get back to the lady. You get all your stuff loaded up in the cargo and people here. I didn't put the people in the staterooms in case. Well, you know, I'll wait, and if something comes up where you need it, I'll put them in there. It'll be fine. I'm sure we won't need them.
Yeah. Now we haven't actually, if I remember correctly, we haven't finished our survey.
Right. If you wanted to do the survey, you would need to spend several days and then come, you know. And I think this system doesn't have a gas giant, so you would have to come
Well,
back around.
I would assume that we've already refueled.
Yeah, but like if you spent several days in space, unless you wanted to
We have
risk.
we should have.
You can.
I mean,
Oh yeah. No.
we should have fuel for
Okay.
4 weeks of operation.
Yeah. Okay.
So I'd just like to leave. I mean, I don't want to come back to this place anytime. I mean, we just left and made a scene.
You've said that about every place you've been to here.
No, I don't mean
It's
ever. I don't mean
subsector.
ever. I don't mean ever. I just mean I don't want to come back this week. You know, I'd rather have it be, you know, in 3 weeks or a month or something, you know.
All right.
But I know when I've, you know, that there's been anyway.
Yeah. All right.
But yeah, so let's make our survey and yeah.
The survey is going to take I don't know, 3 days. So let's do some checks.
Okay. Somebody with who's on sensors.
Idea of Nefertiti as the embodiment.
Is that a position?
I'll be on sensors if nobody else is sitting there.
I think maybe the sensors person is
I
not
think it's
here right
also
now.
that's also generally the pilot, but it can be which can be any of us, I guess.
Okay.
All right. For the first day as you're headed out. Actually, let me get rid of these. They wouldn't be there anymore. You start making a survey of the system, and updating the UPP, at least astrographic data, and let's see here. There it is. There it is. Yeah. So the planetary belt where the starport is in the third planet from the sun. So you are working on this survey, and it's a binary star system. And so it takes you about... It'll take you, 3 days. And then when you finish the survey, you can make the jump from the first planet. So you're starting to make it towards the second planet. It's about 100 million kilometers away. 100 million, yeah. And you see that there's you start to reach where there's, let's see, this planet's right out here on the edge, and then there's like two desert moons. I agree with you that these are things that would still show up, even if a ship wouldn't, if a ship wasn't like reporting itself. But then, all of a sudden, because it reveals itself, you get a signal. So this probably takes, it's probably 10, 15 minutes late, right? The signal. All of a sudden there is an urgent distress call. And there's a ship near this moon here that is like, Mayday, 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 we're under attack. Please, any ship nearby, please help us.
The analysis reveals why the
All we can do is relay this signal back to the starport.
At this point, oh, okay, yeah, go ahead.
We have no weapons. We have thrust one. We couldn't help these people if we wanted to.
All right.
That's what I say to the crew.
Yeah, it's fair. And I'm a little suspicious of the traps anyway.
Because
we communicate with them and ask them to explain their situation.
Well, he was they're under attack.
Yeah, when you do that, Marcello, the ship, you hear someone breathing rapidly on the other side. It probably takes, so let's see, one turn is something like 16 minutes or whatever. It's like 1,000 seconds. So it takes a full turn, just to get this message back. But you hear like breathing, and you can tell they're in a vac suit at this point, and labored breathing. And you hear a bunch of like sounds in the background, environmental noise and yelling and stuff. And they're like, this is the, oh, I just lost it. Let me think of his name. Yes, this is the free trader Vonnegut, and there's a fighter. It's dismantling our ship. It's shut down our weapon systems. We're not able to get away, and then it relays that information to you, so that there's the second vessel that you can see. And so you said you send a message.
Yeah, we need to relay all of this back to the starport as soon as possible. They gotta have their own system defense vessels of some kind.
Okay. Yeah. What do you? Who's on comms?
I'll take. Oh.
I was figuring it was Marcello, but
if that makes more sense, yes.
Well, here's the ship. It says. Oh wait, actually, it's Andrew. But tonight it can be. It's up to you all. Shipley's the navigator and Marcello's the engineer. So whatever y'all want to do.
Well, you keep on going, Marcello.
Okay, I'll take comms.
All right. What is it that you say? Relay a message to the, to Starport Asteltine.
Sure. High port. Emergency transmission. We have a distress call. There's a ship under attack by the near moon. I'm going to package up their transmissions and squirt that over to you in 1 second.
All right.
Send that over to them.
Okay, you do that. This takes another probably 30 minutes to, send a message and then receive a response, and there are kind of two things that happen pretty closely. You probably have to monitor two different frequencies to see this happen. First of all, you get a response back from Startown Asteltine. They tell you that ship is as good as dead. If they didn't have if they didn't have the smarts to be ready for those pirate vessels out there, then there's nothing we can do to help them. Thanks for the info, though, and the space report, lady. Maybe they just call you Lady too. They're probably gonna say Lady of Mercia. But you get that back, and then the other thing you get back at the same time is that there's they send you information on a third vessel or a second pirate vessel, and they're like they say now this is an interesting thing because I think you all might actually be this is all occurring within about an hour, okay? So
well, if it's that length of time, I'm going to also keep us exactly on the outside of this range, whatever range this is. I don't want to get closer to this situation at all.
right, okay. So you come to a full stop so that you don't bring it any closer.
Maybe
Yeah.
Whatever their trajectory is.
Yeah, I assume that, are they moving through space, or is this all happening in a relatively contained area?
It looks like they're diving toward the second planet. That's the only option that they have. They're trying to either mass themselves or use a...
At this point, can I tell what rate of thrust they're moving?
Thrust 1.
All of them?
It looks like the other two ships are both at thrust. One of the ships is at like... Off the top of my head, something like... Well, I guess I can look right here. But it's a small vessel, so it's very fast.
Yeah.
Whatever that is. The other
Okay.
vessel is at thrust 2. And the other thing of note here, where can you do your jumps?
Yeah. Well, we need to engage the generator program.
Okay. You realize... Okay, so you're going to swap your software in on this turn?
Well, I don't know what's running now.
But you tell me.
Yeah. But well, maneuver has to be running for us to be moving in normal space and actually be able to use the thrusters and such.
I think I saw that you had to shut something like that down in order to drive flight plan along with jump. You needed jump and like navigate and like a couple other things, I thought. But either way, I think you're gonna have to swap software. So I don't think it's gonna matter, but because they probably notice all of this within another 15 minutes. But you get before that happens, just around the time you're getting this message back from Startown Asteltine, you're getting a message back from the Vonnegut, and they say Mayday, Mayday, and it warbles and it cancels, and then the message resumes, and it's like hull breach, loss of power, and then it warbles again, and then you just hear like screams and silence, and then the signal's gone.
Yeah. So we need to be operating generate.
Now, the next thing that happens is, what is the software that you're switching to?
Generate.
Generate. Okay.
I mean, we need to, well, here's what we need to do. Point ourselves back in the direction of
Which kind of took us back to square one.
the starport, because we've been traveling for a day or more, right? And we're well outside the gravity well of any that we would need to be.
So what I was about to note is if you had been really unlucky, you would have finished your survey close to the edge of this world to its jump, like to where it could have affected your jump, which is still a small probability. You can jump close to a world and there's only a chance you'll blow up, but you know, it's a small chance. But anyways, that's not the case here. But what does happen is, okay, so you load that. I'm thinking, Shipley, why don't you roll your navigation check, but do it in secret and don't tell us the result yet? Because you'd be doing it right now, but don't tell us the result.
Is there a way to do that on the tabletop, or I just roll that offline?
I think so. I think if you go to the chat, I think it has a drop down where you can do private or self-roll. I think it's self-roll or...
Self-roll, okay.
Yeah. And then hang on to that and don't tell us until we drop out of jump transit.
Okay.
And then the engineer, while you're... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry, no, you go ahead.
Obviously, the engineer is working on the engines because there's a chance the engines could fail in space. So if you could go ahead and do the drive failure check. Marcello.
Sure. In secret?
No. Yeah, so the drives they're great. They're in great condition. And so you get everything spooled up for this jump, and that's when this happens. In the last turn as you're doing your software, they're the aggressor. This small ship, you see it vector towards you and fire.
So firing what?
Laser.
Okay.
Are klaxons going off? Do we have software that... Yeah. We have software that... or systems that'll alert us to attack?
Yeah, it's clear to you that you're taking laser fire, but this is like... It probably happens... you probably find out by it hitting you more than you find out, or by it passing by you or something first. I'm looking for it.
All right.
Go ahead.
Well, we need to load in, navigate, and jump.
I think her denying was her person existed.
Laser
Because the
fire.
flight plan should have been generated.
Yeah. Let's see. You also have the well, you don't have laser fire. Okay, so I think I'm just checking the distance here. It will be at a penalty, I believe. Pretty significant penalty.
We're pretty far away still.
Yeah, I want to make sure that I give them the full penalty to hit. I need my chart.
By the way, from now on, we generate as soon as we make system fall. As soon as we get out of jump space. If we know our next destination, we generate.
Alright, let's see here. Computers, software.
If I forget, remind me.
All right.
It's by bands, which I have this correct, so it's by 2 bands out, which is... they introduced that later, but it's the same thing. It's the distances. It's at a -2 to roll to hit on an 8. So here we go. I'm doing it in the open. So they have to get a 10. 5. And you detect that this laser fire flies past you. Now, if you had weapons at this point, you could automatically do return laser fire.
If we had the program for it.
That's true too. But
which we don't.
But you have your jump program
So we load jump and navigate.
All right. And
Let's get the hell out of here, Captain.
Yep, hit it.
And you're gone.
Oh, it's too close.
And you just discovered that somebody has the capabilities to have like a hunter-killer team. One team that has like a longer sensor, like a scout, and then one ship that can trail in hours later with the firepower.
Wow.
So now here you are. Yeah, you jumped out of there. One of those hits could have taken out a system. It missed.
All right. So we need to talk about program SOP. What do we have loaded by default all the time when we're not doing anything else? Maneuver is obvious if we're in regular space. If we're doing something like surveying, having to fly around actively. That takes up 1. We have the ability to load 2 and store up to 4. And so maneuver and I think auto evade are going to be loaded by default, and probably anti-hijack. Anti-hijack is going to be loaded at all times during jump space, and if possible at all times when we have passengers of any sort. But obviously, when we're about to travel, there's a danger period there, because that's one of the reasons why we need to hit generate, and we need to have like a high security understanding, like mindset. Everybody's on watch as soon as we come out of jump, because that's when we're going to load generate, which means we have to take anti-hijack offline. And anti-hijack is mainly a protection against your passengers turning on you, although it, of course, could also protect against if you had been boarded.
Stacy told me.
You don't trust anybody, do you?
I have run meta statement. No, I don't trust anybody. I've been working in this type of job too long. Seen too many crazy passengers.
Mm-hmm.
Isabella comes up, after you make the announcement that they can take off their seat belts and suits and stuff, and she was like, "What was all that noise up here on the bridge?"
Where are we right now in the ship?
You are on the bridge. It's just after having entered jump space, and
I don't think she's welcome on the bridge.
Okay, she waits until you can go back into the crew common area or open the bridge and start to leave.
Yeah,
And she
that's
pokes
going to
her.
be another SOP. Passengers don't get on the bridge for any reason.
I agree. She pokes her head, from the common area, and she's like, "Well, what happened?" Maybe she looks like she's trying to look onto the bridge. She's like, "What was all that noise on the bridge?"
Things are always a little interesting for a jump. A lot of systems, a lot of moving parts.
Oh, so
Nothing to worry about.
And at that, Velez is like, "Oh, so it's just normal then."
It can be. Yeah, not every time, but
Oh, okay.
safety first, Yeah.
I see. Very well. They go out like smiling, happy. They feel so safe now. They've left Asteltine, so they have no idea that you almost got vaporized. All right. What do you all? Is there anything? I always ask, 'cause, like before we just move on. Is there anything you do during your week of jump time? No.
I think it would be wise to spend a bunch of time getting to know these Red Sun people, because we should probably know who it is they intend to contact, and whatever they happen to know about about who's in charge? Like, who are they planning? Are they just going there on faith? I mean, do they have a name of someone they're planning on contacting, or they already have a liaison there? I feel like we got a little bit of that last time, but not a lot. I'm gonna trust Marcello and Shipley. What's your social?
Give me a second to
7?
pull it up. My social is 8.
Okay, so yeah, the two of you are the glad handers then, and I'll leave it to you to
All right.
spend your free time up in that passenger lounge and show them a good time and learn everything you can about where we're going. Actually, where we're going first, of course, is not Raleigh.
That's right.
Where are we going first?
Where we're going first is what is it? Bennett? Let me pull this up.
TimbR?
TimbR.
Okay.
Yeah. The only question is, now by the way, Ross, did we determine, do you remember how many actual tons of the textiles?
Yeah, I got it written down here, and you got.
Did we pay? So base price is 3,000 a unit, but we got a good price on it.
Yeah, 1,500 per ton at 65 tons is what I've written down.
65. Okay. All right. I'm just updating the ship character sheet.
Okay. Yeah. So they seem much more lively than before. Shipley and Marcello in the common area. They're talking. You hear them talking openly about Raleigh. How they can't wait to get to the. One of the women with him is like, I can't wait to get to the playing fields in the capital district. I've heard that they're just. I heard they're very well maintained, and besides that, I've heard about the gardens there, and I just it would be good to be on a proper world after having traveled through this poor area for so long, and finally to get to start our work, and of course Velez is there, and Velez is like, I agree. It'll be good to actually put some feet down and on a world and put ourselves in the soil and take some root properly, and who knows, perhaps we could turn things around there. I know that I know His Majesty is hopeful for our project based on his communication. These are things that you two hear just as they're like openly talking about it.
Mm-hmm.
Passing by.
So we're passing by. We're coming in. I think we're coming in with the intention of corralling them and having a little talk with them. And as I come in, I hear them saying this stuff and so on, and I sort of like acknowledge that they're there, and smile, and say, "No, I'm about to make a pot of tea for myself. Can I interest you in some of the ship's best brew?"
They Velez is like, well, I like tea very much. In fact, I would enjoy that. What type of tea do you have? What leaf is it? It's not a leaf.
Well, we've we've got black tea and decaffeinated tea. That's really all we've got in the ship stores.
I love how like it's probably like I think about like what comes to mind is you're looking at it and you're like, we've got black tea and decaf, and I'm not thinking Lipton. I'm thinking like if you go to a discount grocery store and it's just like, do you want purple drink or red drink?
It just says tea on it.
It just says no. It just says
exactly
black, like water. It's just water, and it's like
right. Well, yeah.
Well,
We're
and
not-
the
we're
way
not-
one of
he
them has an
delivered it,
allergy warning on it.
he's like, well, he also, it's like something like an office manager would say, you know, to a to someone who was here for a job interview or something, you know. What do we have? Well, we have black tea and decaf. Sorry, Marcello.
What is the decaf?
All right.
Decaf what? Yes.
Yeah, we're not as sophisticated as these folks are about. Even if we were, I don't think we have enough tonnage of quite that variety. Anyway, so I start some hot water, and Ripley, do you want to start chatting with them?
Yeah, I'm gonna sit down while he's making the tea and kind of like, I don't know, introduce myself to the group. I know we've met before. And then I'll ask them I'll tell them that it's really good to see. I'm really excited about the work that they're doing, and I'm glad to see them out there. I'm asking what they're hoping they'll be able to provide on Rally.
That this the woman that was talking before, about it. She says, "It's very nice to meet you. My name is Zoe, and primarily we're serving administrative function for His Majesty. So it is a first step. That is to say, we're going to lay the groundwork and create all of the different administrative pathways necessary to begin relief efforts once they start arriving from the Imperium en masse."
Oh, that's a really critical stage. You can't get anywhere without good organization.
Yes,
People don't,
I agree.
it's not very flashy, but it's really the most important step.
I couldn't agree more, and we're just happy to do our part. We've heard that the people of Raleigh that it's dire straits there. They suffer from crime lords. So every time aid is sent, it's often just snatched away, and so and even seems to aid criminals to even try to provide aid to the planet. I've heard assurances from His Majesty's office that this should be taken care of by security forces, and it's been reinforced. So with the added security, we can make an assessment and determine how the needs need to be met, and then that will be sent back to the Imperium. Within a year, we're hoping entire aid convoys should start arriving into the 5 sister subsector.
Oh, he's sending more military presence. I guess you did tell us that must be the ships that you were traveling with originally. Before you took your detour.
She has a pensive expression on her face, and she's like, "Well, I hadn't thought of it that way, but." And they hadn't exactly said that was their destination, but it's possible that it could be intended to help reinforce His Grace. I keep saying His Majesty. I should have said His Grace.
At this point, I come in and bring a couple saucers with teacups on them and let them out. This is your tea. Would you like sugar with that?
And they all are like, "Oh, yes, please." Like all of them are, and
Excellent.
you can tell that they don't like it, but you can also tell that they're being very gracious about it, and they're thankful, and they, you know, even just to have the hot beverage is a nice thing too. So, tell us, how did you get into a life of traveling? This is again Zoe that asked this. Why not?
Well, we came to know. No, so we all came to know each other when we were fighting in the wars. We served together, and we traveled together. In this case, we're traveling with the military, but I think that gave us all a taste of space. And after all we've been through, it turns out that one of the few things that we're really good at, being spacers. I heard you say that you were eager to get some land under your toes. Is that right?
Yes, absolutely. Velez leans over the kind of heavy-set man. He says, "So, if you fought in the war, I would imagine traveling is a dangerous profession. Why did you take back to the stars? I would imagine your thirst for adventure would have been slaked there, and where did you serve during the war?"
Ripley, do you remember?
Give me a minute. I have it in the records.
Testify against.
We served in Rylanor.
Rylanor.
One of the other,
Yeah.
another man, he's like, "Rylanor, that's quite a few light years from here. You must have been called up and brought here from your home." And of course, you're not from here, but they assume that you're a local.
I'll say, oh, yes,
yeah,
it was pretty dire times. I imagine they were bringing in people from all over. Just bad times all around. I shake my head sadly.
Mm-hmm. I got a question for you.
Which one are you asking? The man that just spoke, or the woman Yanis who was talking about gardening, or the one in charge Isabella, or the stocky man Velez?
Oh, the one in charge, Isabella. I turned to her, and I asked her, once we arrive in system, and you shuttle down to the planet, who are you going to be in touch with down there?
We have our liaison down there, Thessalia. As soon as we touch down, we'll make contact with Thessalia, and she'll provide us a security escort to arrive at Capitol Hill.
Okay. And you'll do your business in the main in the Capitol Hill area?
Exactly. That's where we'll set up our offices and begin coordinating with the Iterati Control Zone Authority.
Will you be working primarily with the Iterati Control Zone, or with any of the other factions on that planet?
They look at each other and, factions? Oh, you mean the crime lords?
That's exactly what I meant.
Oh, of course not. We wouldn't work with criminals and terrorists and warlords.
And I sort of say, yeah, I didn't mean to imply that.
Oh yes, of course you didn't. No, yes.
No.
Please, yes, I misunderstood, and you'll have to forgive us. It's just we were under so much stress at Asteltine, and needing to look over our shoulders all the time. We should have never separated from the group, and from the convoy, and we're just happy to be gone from there, and we're very thankful for you all.
Absolutely. It seemed it seems hard traveling these parts for anybody associated with the Imperium, isn't it?
Well,
I mean, it seems like you had a hell of a time trying to find transport.
and this is Isabella. She says it's news to us as well. I mean, Asteltine is it's not an imperial world, but it's surprising to see that there are people here that have turned their back on humanity and the hope of unity.
And here Marcello is sort of laughing a little bit. You know, I once had a lot of hope in humanity as just like you.
They all stopped drinking.
And then I
their tea.
traveled. And then I traveled. We traveled. And I don't know. As many planets as we've been to, we've seen so many different types of humanity, so many different people, and wonder of wonders, not every single one of them ascribes to the philosophy or the power of the Imperium. And who knows why? Probably are many, 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 many reasons for it. But I don't think you can take it as a given that you'll find support for the Imperium out in these parts.
Yeah, they all kind of, this sort of brings their tea drinking to a pause. And then Velez kind of leans forward and he's like, and presumably, you'd introduced yourself personally by now. I think you already did anyways, but so he leans forward. He says,
yeah.
My dear Marcello, now, certainly you could not possibly be suggesting that humanity is not in need of the Imperium. Why, just the threat of the Zodani alone, never mind the aliens, the things that live on the edges of the galaxy, some of the cataclysmic intergalactic wars that we've faced with alien species that could not even... why, if humanity were fragmented and not under the guiding power of the throne of the Imperium, we would stand no chance in being unified together against all of the forces in the galaxy that would crush humanity and destroy us all.
Well, is it Velez or Vasquez?
Velez, yeah.
Velez. Velez, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. Any fractious polity would unite if they were being attacked. War sometimes makes you into very fast friends. But I don't think the people out here really see the benefit of the Imperium. I mean, in their daily lives. That's what I mean. And, don't get me wrong. I'm not a rebel. But I'm just looking at it from the point of view of the people on the ground.
When you say that you're not a rebel, and then you say that, he takes his little teacup and he sort of makes a little toasting gesture a little bit, continues drinking, but then one of the people next to Velez, he's like, He's right, Velez. It's clear that that the Imperium hasn't done enough to help the people here, and it doesn't seem like they've benefited from said intergalactic war. This place is a fringe waste, and then Velez kind of snaps and is like, well, perhaps if the people in that rock back there would have cooperated more with Imperial authorities and worked instead of their own self-interests and just looking out for the next paycheck and tried to pull through for one another, maybe then they would see a little bit more of the Imperium around here. Maybe if they hadn't driven away any chance for a secure starport or a naval base or a refueling plant or a major manufacturing planet, then maybe things would be different around here. And he just like snaps and just starts yelling this stuff out. And then, just kind of lets the steam run out for a while. And then he's like, I'm sorry. I'm very tired. And he puts his hand on the shoulder of the person he snapped at. And he's like, forgive me, I'm very sorry. We did have a terrible time on Asteltine. Let's speak about it later. And then he nods towards you, Marcello, and to you, Shipley, and then he like goes off and goes to his stateroom.
He's the only one who left.
Yeah, he's the only one that left, yeah. I think mostly out of embarrassment.
And I look around at the others and I say, you've been through a lot, and perhaps all of you are tired. I've got a pot of decaffeinated tea here, in case you want something. It's not going to interrupt your rest tonight.
Isabella says, you're very kind, Marcello. You're an excellent host. I will recommend you to anyone at port with the ICZ authority.
Thank you very much, Isabella. You've been very kind yourself. It's been a pleasure rubbing shoulders with your group here. We don't often have such amicable passengers.
This makes him
actually
kind of beam as well, But and with that, unless anybody wants to do anything else during the week, you arrive 165 hours or so later. Now, what was the result of your roll, Shipley?
9.
A 9.
Mm-hmm.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. So, okay, so you arrive in space, and let's see.
That's a good start.
Yeah,
that was a great that was a great sound.
And then first thing we do is jump on those scanners.
Okay.
And what was you said? Run the switch the program.
Well, first, yeah. First we need to have maneuver and auto evade on first.
Mm-hmm.
And anti-hijack. These seem like lovely people, but and we need to just get a sense of where we are in the system first, and then we can switch to generate if it seems safe.
All right. Two things happen right away. episode. You take the 1,000 seconds to swap the computer program, get everything set in, immediately do a scan. I don't know if you said, we talked about this before, but probably everyone is already seated with their vac suits ready, right? Like every time you come
Yes.
out of jump. So you immediately start doing all these crew activities. Everybody's back in their staterooms and they're secure as well. And you detect that this is a TimbR. It has a single dwarf star. It has 9 planets. It has a gas giant, and you have come in just 5 hours out from deorbit from TimbR Primary, which is the first planet in the system, and it is a low port on a terrestrial world with a breathable atmosphere. So,
Okay. There seems to be a contact.
and you also have a contact. And as soon as you come out and you see it, it immediately announces itself. It says, "Greetings there, free trader. This is let me make sure this is, yep. This is the wild card."
Acknowledged wild card. This is the what's the name of our ship again? I can't remember.
Lady of Mercia.
Lady of Mercia. Can I tell? This is not an official.
Yeah.
An official vessel, right? Is
Yeah,
this like
they announced themselves as a free trader, the free trader wild card, and they're doing a handshake comm where they're saying, "Hey, you know, we don't mean anything. We don't mean any threat, you know." So
okay.
Fine. They coming or go? They coming or going?
Yeah, you coming or going?
and the planet is just ahead, so they are going, and that is also pretty clear to you.
Mm-hmm.
There we go. So, and actually, it's further away than that. Why can I?
Ask them what the picture's like down there. Also, anyone they know that wants to buy clothes. Or textiles, anyway.
Yeah, he says, yeah, we're just heading out from these that hunting lodge down there. What a waste of Imperial credits, but none of my business. I'm not in charge. They didn't make me the emperor or anything.
Well, I don't catch your drift. Are you telling me something's missed down there?
Oh yeah, you've never been to TimbR before? They just keep the line hot and open. Anybody could listen to it.
Yeah. Actually, this is our first time.
Oh well, TimbR is an entire planet that a bunch of rich imperial nobles use as a hunting lodge, as a retreat.
Oh, is that so?
It's got something called the TimbR bear. It's a 4,000-pound monster that they hunt down there.
Wow, I wouldn't want to see that outside my.
Yeah, I doubt they use tents. Not these people. But, yeah, to be honest, I don't think you're going to be selling any clothes, if that's what if I heard right on that.
That's right. We've got some cargo here that we're trying to unload. We heard that. I don't know. Maybe there'd be some interest. Those were.
Yeah, and who knows? Maybe the Starport
Are you saying?
staff.
Are you saying that there's no population down there except nobility who are coming down here for a spot of hunting?
There's the Startown staff, that's a bunch of off-worlders, and then, yeah, the only thing there is a hunting lodge with about a half dozen or dozen so fancy schmancy imperial nobles that come here and hunt.
Fantastic. And I look over at the captain.
Didn't happen to notice any lots going out to Raleigh, did you?
Raleigh. Oh yeah, there was some ships that came through here, and the naval vessels they come through, of course. Yeah, ships. We've seen some ships head to Raleigh.
No, lots.
Well, maybe one naval convoy heading through that way. Maybe they.
No. I mean, cargo lots.
Lots
Oh.
of ships.
Free traders headed to Raleigh. Yeah. Yeah, we saw one ship come through that was headed to Raleigh.
All right.
Yeah. Well, we got a pretty good deal ourselves. We're shipping some of this meat off. We work for this really cool company. They pay us to do a lot of these niche markets. And it's been really reliable. It's been a good gig so far. So.
You
Yeah. What's
you
that?
trade in bear?
We do today. Yeah.
Wouldn't have to be hard ways, would it?
No. It's try chewing on this word, Kerfurkanok. It's believe it or not, our bosses are Vargar.
Vargar outfit. Yeah, we've seen
no
that.
offense if any of your crew are Vargar. Lothak can hear all this.
Good old Lothak. All right. Well, thanks, friend.
All right.
Any pirate activity that you know of?
I haven't seen any.
I guess if Imperial nobles come here, they probably keep it pretty safe. Is there system defense boats around?
Yeah, they do. And we saw those Imperial ships come through the other day. I don't know. Maybe they pass through regularly.
Maybe so. Well, if there's nothing else, happy journeys, friend.
Hey, you be safe out there. And
Have a good one.
Here's the question for the crew. I'm not sure we even need to land. The only reason we would need to land would be to refuel with refined fuel. And we just leave and then check to see if they have any lots small enough to fit. They would have to be, 18 tons or less to be able to fit in the remaining space we've got. Now, it's still worth money to carry it, so it might be worth it to check. Alternatively, we could save ourselves a few credits and go and scoop from the gas giant and be on our way. Not even bother to make planetfall.
now you can do that, but I do want to note you are 600 million kilometers away from that gas giant, which will take you about 5 days.
Yeah. Yes. So that's the other piece. They would know that too, but yeah, I'd have a look. So.
But it would save your fuel costs, and it would save your.
Which are pretty. I'm not sure it would be worth. I'm not sure it'd be worth it. So maybe we make a. Yeah. Well, let's go ahead and make a landing then.
Yeah, I think your fuel.
And I'm curious.
Go ahead.
I'm just curious. With our passengers, did we make any promises to them about schedule or timetable or anything like that?
No.
Or so it takes as long as it takes.
They know we have a jump one ship.
It needs to be refueled.
Yeah, every time we jump, every ship has to be. Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah. But adding five days to a journey.
Yeah,
seems like a lot.
Yeah, it would be boring.
The last time you bought fuel for jump one at 1.1 M jump, it cost you 10,714 credits at a standard cost, which you could probably expect here. and then you have 100 credit, I think it is, birthing fee, and I think that might be it. Other than if you leave the ship, if you don't just like do that and immediately leave, you'll have to pay for like 40 credits for food and lodging.
I think it's worth it to land, because now that I think about it, we can also try to find another speculative cargo just to fill in the corners. Yeah. If there's no lots available.
You can also, just a reminder, you can always, once per week, you can try to find somebody to give you a job as well. So that's always another thing.
Yeah. I don't know about you guys. I'm not interested in doing that right now, at this planet anyway. I don't want to get distracted.
That's totally fine.
Well, yeah. How do you all feel about it?
I think it's fine. I hope our Imperial passengers don't want to hang around. This seems like a world they would want to take a break on.
I think they seem dedicated to their cause.
I sure hope so.
Either way,
they're off the better.
Well, yeah, I agree.
All right. I wonder if it's kind of like this. It's not really great, but I'll stick with that. So, when you come into deorbit and then begin your approach to land at the low port, you see that this has a terracotta and green skies. If you imagine our clouds are white and sky is blue, it's like terracotta sky with green clouds. And there is the local starport, which is unusually robust, with big towering fuel tanks, the kind of above ground storage tanks for the hydrogen fuel, and it could house massive cruisers landing here and stuff like that. And it is currently mostly empty. It is very well staffed. You can tell coming in when you make the approach. And then there's just this like overlooking, you can tell, a hunting lodge, like overlooking the vast wilderness beyond. And that you can see there's this kind of like floating dust that's just like floating on the wind and hanging heavy among the trees. Beyond this area in particular, this is kind of centered also around kind of a body of water, and then beyond, you can just see tracks of clay desert as far as you can see, with whole patches of what you think at first might be some kind of, like a pond or lake or bodies of water and river bodies, and then you realize that they're just entire wadis of this pollen out in the desert, whatever the strange particulate is. And yeah,
there must be some damn fine hunting out here for the Imperials to be interested in this dust ball.
Apparently there's some 4,000-pound bears.
4,000 pounds?
Yep, 4,000 pound, the Deborian bear.
I don't know. This is not the first place I think of when I think of luxury. But who knows? I'm not a noble.
4,000 pounds, huh?
Now you guys are just passing through, right?
Well, no, like I said, we're looking for lots. Well, first of all, we gotta land, but we're looking for lots and for cargo. I think, whatever's easiest.
Mm-hmm.
I think lots is what I'm gonna look for first.
I suppose that's what I mean. Is you're just here to like dump out the cargo and get more on and move out.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
not exploring, talking to people, trying to.
No,
Yeah. Okay.
not this time.
So let's just let's hammer a couple things out here. So, trying to find a buyer. So, this is actually something like if you come into a very well staffed but otherwise vacant, massive Class B starport with refined fuel and the ability to service, naval cruisers and stuff like that, and then this boutique hunting lodge with just a smattering of rich people in their staff that caters to them. What's your pitch for selling these clothes? How do you or are you going to keep them on board? But you could try.
Yeah. Well, it depends what's around. I mean, a very well staffed starport. So,
Mhm.
okay. So, are there commercial offices?
No. Yeah, unless you count like the gift shop, which maybe they need stuff. You could try to talk to like the starport vendor coordinator. Like so for all the vendors at the starport.
Well, that's what I mean. Like, are there are no corporations that do business out of this starport?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you could try to talk to the starport
Yeah,
authority.
yeah. I don't mean a commercial zone where there's a bunch of restaurants and shops and stuff. I mean, yeah, I mean, an office, like a place where a liaison might be to facilitate stuff. Yes, starport. What did you call them?
I would call it
coordinator.
like a vendor.
Yeah.
Like a vendor.
So basically, you're talking about a broker in terms of mechanics. So maybe I'll employ a broker at the lowest level, if there is one employable.
Sure. Yeah, you could do that. I'm looking here. Textiles is what I'm looking for.
And if we hire the lowest one available, it should give us an additional +1 in addition to my admin, which is 1, to our DM.
Yeah, +1. That's right. And then you said your admin, so another +1 is +2. So okay, so you come up to.
Because I'd rather hire someone at this point. Yeah, I'm impatient enough. Yeah, I'll take the 5% cut. That's fine.
No problem. So you talk to someone at the Starport Authority, and they you try to slip them some money. You're gonna have to create a broker out of this, which you could do, and they say, okay, yeah, I'll try to secure a deal for you to try to unload this to stock our vendors here, our gift shops and employee shop, and we might be able to work with some of these things. Let me see what I can do. Okay, so roll your 2d6 and add 2. All right, so you get a 6 is an 8 total. So you're selling it at 110%. So yeah, it worked out pretty good. Sold at 110%. I assume you want to do it because then you're making quite a profit.
Absolutely. We paid for 50%. So
yeah, and I'm so curious, I can't help it. I can't stand it. Like I gotta look at it now and see the difference because that's pretty cool. I don't know why it's not my money. I mean, you know, but I'm curious. I can't help it. So you made 214,500 credits.
She felt she was helping.
Okay, so that's a profit of 1,800 credits per ton. Just so everybody knows.
Pretty good, isn't it?
Not bad. Okay, so wait, 5%. The broker makes 5% of that.
That's right.
Which I think means 150 credits per unit. 150 times.
I'm just going to take it off the numbers from the thing. 114,
Okay.
500, and 5%. So minus 5%, I get 203,775. And then if I'm just curious about your
That leaves us with 271,275 before fuel costs.
I might have written this number down wrong, but that looks like our profit of about 106,000. So you paid your mortgage on that, I think.
Hey.
When you take into
Nice.
account the previous thing, yeah.
Okay, so the mortgage is.
But anyways, we can look at that later.
Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah. Curiosity killed me. I couldn't help it. And then
Yeah, so that if we separate out the mortgage payment now, that leaves us still with, I think, around just under 90,000 left to work with, which, we can be. Anyway, so, okay, what's the answer on the cargo lots?
right. So this is something that would just show up on a board. It's standard cargo stuff. This is stuff that just I think I'm willing to bet that it's just not going to have any. World Pop 0, 0. So it's going to not have any. I'm pretty sure. The bar and
Oh, the bar is 0.
oh wait, it's actually 1.
That's 1.
So, but you're going to a 5. Okay, nice. Okay, so this is interesting. So.
And I'm so what? So are you guys accompanying me while I'm just walking over to a screen, like talking to this guy, and like, are you or are you?
You just
taking
have
this
one minor
opportunity to not
cargo
be
lot.
bored?
That's all. One minor
A
cargo
minor, okay. For how much? Of how much?
lot. I think that one cargo lot is.
Let me employ that broker. They're not standard size. I think there's a chart.
I think minor is times 5 tons, and then incidental is per ton, and major is times 10 ton. Cargo. Minor cargoes by 5, so there is 5 tons of cargo, and it goes.
Oh, okay. There's not a That's not a multiplier.
No, I don't think so. I mean, yeah, no, the multiplier is in the first. It's in the chart.
Okay.
So, all right. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let's employ that broker once again to help us find a cargo, if possible.
I'm going to say that there is no market here for being able to find something like that. The only thing, what I will tell you is, I think in this case you would have to leave the starport and like go out into the world and see what's going on to try to find a client that needs stuff moved. But there's not going to be like the guy at the starport's not going to know anything about that. So you will have to go on an adventure to find cargo here.
Oh. No, we move on then. We'll take the minor one, and we're going to get paid by these. We're going to get paid 160,000. If my count right, there's 10 of them. That's 2 jumps, right?
Yeah, and I'll work all that math out later.
Yeah.
And put it in the.
So we're just going to have to eat it on this leg. Unless you all really feel like going out into the wilderness to try to find some random hunters to sell their 4,000-pound bear carcasses to.
No, not really.
All right.
Well,
It'd probably be fun, but it's a little bit out of our way right now.
I want to get I want to get a scarf.
A scarf at the
Surely,
shop.
Do they have
Yeah.
do they have them at the gift shop?
at the gift shop. Like, do they have a keffiyeh
Yeah.
or a schmog? Like, are there actually
Right.
like natives in this culture?
Yeah. If you
No,
do,
I
you want to
mean,
ask around. You know what you find? You find one of those places that's like clearly, for tourists. Like if you go to the Southwest, and it's like, look,
yeah,
an Indian shop, and like, and
yeah,
it's in the
yeah,
airport, and it's got all kinds of
yeah.
like Cocopelli dolls and instruments that don't even line up culturally with what happens locally. But the person at the starport that works here is not a native. They just work for the starport. They're a vendor, and
Right.
but you could ask around about the world if you wanted to.
Sure. Well, I come up. I take a walk while the captain is doing business, and end up at this place. And yeah, I talked to the person behind the counter, and I just introduced myself as obviously a traveler, and I'm here on short time, and explained to the person that going from basically we're going from starport to starport. We don't get to see very much of each planet, really. But I still like to take a little souvenir from the culture. And I look around and seeing this is like a desert world, desert planet. Like surely you've got some, desert scarves. I'd like to pick up. I don't know how authentic these are, but you have anything like that?
Um, they're like chewing gum. Um, yeah, sure. And they have like a bunch of stuff that's made, like handbags and scarves and different accessories. They're claimed to be made from Debarian bear.
Really?
They're unreasonably expensive.
This. Oh, really? Really?
Yeah, but yeah, like if you look at him,
Is
you're
it
like,
all?
oh, go ahead.
Is it all woven from bear hair? Is that what's going on?
He's chewing and he's like,
All right. So I take a scarf and I stretch it out. I hold it in front of myself and look at it and stretch it out. Try to tie it around myself in various ways. I'm looking at this, and is it clear that the quality for the price ratio is just like terrible?
as you look at it, you begin to come to the conclusion that, in fact, it's not worth the price whatsoever, but it probably is made of bear hair because it feels like it. It's like scratchy and pokey and coarse and feels like it'll probably fall apart. But it's probably made from a bear. So there's that.
I'm going to stick it right up to my nose and take a big whiff. Does it stink?
Makes you sneeze. It just like unleashes like these little needle-like hairs from this thing into your sinus cavity. And it
All right.
smells a little bad. And you're like, this is probably from one of those damn bears.
Okay. Yeah.
It's 75
I actually kind of
credits.
feel sad. Actually feel kind of sad to think that a 4,000-pound bear had to die at some gift shop to sell their scarf to me. I thanks, thank you very much, but I hand it back. I don't think I'll be taking.
Now,
Thank you anyway.
he now, like, it's clear to you that these are people from off-world, but if you like look around a little bit, you can see people that like have a unique. I've noted this before, the difference between terrestrial Villani and kind of like spacer belter culture,
Mhm.
where they almost kind of become cave dwelling like if somebody's constantly living in space, or they're longer, more brittle, translucent, pale, albino-ish, more, they kind of like go more like in that direction. And a terrestrial person might be more like hardy, squat, darker skinned, like they'll be adapted to a terrestrial environment. And you can tell that like there are people here with a darker skin pigment, but they aren't working. You can see them working like the ramp space. Like you can see them working some of the jobs here. So you could probably find a native and talk to them too, like a local, if you wanted to know about the world. Or you could go to the bar, of course.
Mm. Well, at this point, I think I'm going to rejoin my companion.
Okay.
I don't know what they're doing for time.
Yeah.
I don't want to be left. I don't want to be left here when they take off.
Is the goal then to keep going, to hit it back out in space and move on, or what else do you guys want to do?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
All right. So let's see here. You all
We can come back. We're gonna have to come back through here anyway. So
head back to the lady and strap back in, take off, exit the
Do we have all our
atmosphere.
passwords?
Yeah.
okay. Now you said that we had 5 hours on the trip in here.
Yes. It was 5 hours from the arrival point. What I've been doing is like there's a miss jump roll, and if she like roll, if you Tiffany, if you like roll really well on it, then I kind of modulate. I'm like, oh, maybe you plot it really close to the entry and it goes well, versus if you got like, double ones, but you didn't, or some, like if you did really bad, I'll have you like out, 2 days away or something, something like that. Because I don't see anything in the rules that tells me where you arrive in system. Maybe I'm wrong, but I didn't see anything. I think the rules have it to where it doesn't really, it has kind of a standard expectation. It has different charts of where you should be and where you'll arrive and what you'll do. And
Yeah.
I like to vary it because every star system is very different. You have like binary stars, and sometimes they have a gas giant, sometimes they have asteroids, and sometimes they'll have multiple things going on in them, and so
Yeah. Okay. Well, the main thing is we need to plot the course. I would have liked to have done it on the trip in after we, had our little conversation with our guy.
Okay, right.
But if not, and I'll understand if you want it to be something that we actually have to say out loud for sure.
No, I understand. Yeah. Do though, let me know, if something's going on that way.
Yeah.
But nothing's happening right now. Well,
Okay.
actually, let me see.
Well, I don't see any reason why we couldn't plot it just as we're
Indeed.
Before we even take off, for that matter.
Yeah. Okay. You encounter nothing on your departure, in fact. This place is pretty desolate. And so you depart and you get to a safe jump distance about 5 hours later, whatever it is, at jump 1. And change your software, and it goes well. Now, if you could make your engine checks there, Marcello, just to see how the engine's doing. Check the ship systems. That's good.
But we're gonna
You
be
want to
playing it.
roll low on this, so to be clear.
Yeah. Look at that.
Shaking my head.
I know, right?
Um,
And actually, I misspoke.
Engines in.
And actually, I'm going to keep this in mind. Last time, I actually did this wrong with the navigation. You should have actually appeared very far out in the system. But, Shipley, if you could roll in secret your misjump and navigation check.
Okay.
And I have a interesting thing to add to it, so we'll see what it is. Actually, it's got a question mark. I love it, and now we don't know. I love it. Okay, cool. So, you ready to jump, or is there anything else you want to do in the system before you leave?
no, we reinstall jump and auto
All right, you were
anti-hijack.
for about 168 hours. Is there anything you do in jump space?
Just make sure we keep providing excellent customer service.
Yes, indeed.
And I will, meanwhile, in my awkward and goofy way, attempt to keep crew morale up through the week.
How do you do that?
A combination of too much yelling and
Oh, no.
being too soft.
As long as the cutlass isn't out, we're good.
No. I will slash. I will take the opportunity of an empty cargo hold to perhaps spar with anybody who wishes to keep their skills sharp.
Let me see if somebody knows sword fighting. They do not. They're terrified. They're terrified when you mention this. You're like, let's make sure our passengers are satisfied. And you go out and you're like, does anyone know how to use a sword? Sword down.
Well, it should give them.
Suddenly find them scarce for the next.
It's a good tourist experience, right? Let's get. No, it doesn't. I don't mean the passengers. I mean somebody else knows how to use a cutlass, surely, right? Marcello.
Oh, not I, Captain.
All right. Well, let me pretend to. Let's just make believe anyway for a little while.
Hold on. Actually, I do have a cutlass.
Okay. Yeah. So we'll put on a little show for the the passengers.
Okay, maybe that happens.
Empty cargo hold. Hopefully, won't happen too often.
Unlike the captain, Marcello has like a real job and has to like check all the systems and everything. So eventually, he gets back to you, and then but you put on this, like a show for the passengers. That happens like maybe day 3. I'm thinking that
sure.
they love that, and they cheer and they get the tea and a sword fight show while they're doing it, and it's great. They absolutely adore it. So their morale is very high, the passengers, because even though they're cramped and they're like 2 to a bunk, which is quite miserable. To be off.
There's a couple of rooms. Yeah, they're not all double, because I think we got 6, right? Or is it? We got 10 staterooms overall, so maybe they are. Actually, yeah, they are.
Yeah. So maybe one of them that just can't get along with the other one. Velez, after his thing, you notice someone drags some stuff over to the low berth room and closes it. It becomes an issue because the guy that takes up like some space on the floor with a blanket and a pillow in the low berth area, he likes it because he gets his own fresher. And this causes a bit of an issue by day 5.
You know what?
I would be that guy.
On day 5, I'm gonna take a walk down there and say, listen, I appreciate your troubles. I know it's tough for everyone, but you got to keep the passengers in the passenger cabin. You understand? It's a protocol thing.
His name is Vipul, and It makes me think of that meme where the guy is like somebody's shining the light in his face, and he's just like that.
Yeah.
Vipul has not really been into he's had a falling out with Velez. The idea that he has to go back now, they have to like change their rooms around, but they do, and Vipul joins everyone else, and it has a good effect. By day 6, Vipul is also hanging out with everyone else instead of sequestering himself near his own personal fresher, and
Yeah.
that helps matters. So, okay.
Never get tired of that sound.
Yeah, coming into port. Let's see here. So you changed your software, right? You did the SOP you were talking about.
Yes. Maneuver, auto evade, and anti-hijack for when we come out.
All right.
And then we just... Once we get close... Okay, there's a contact.
Yeah, this happens as soon as... Oh, wait. First of all, yeah, Shipley, what is the result of your roll? You may not even make it. Forgot about that.
Can you see it now?
I don't know. No.
You cannot.
Okay. I'm not trying to make it visible. I got an 8. Oh, wait. Revealed to everyone. Okay, yeah, you can see it now.
Oh, nice. 8. Okay. 8 is not great.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, it's not ideal. On this one, you want to roll low. I had that wrong last time. So you come out to Raleigh. Raleigh, you discover, is a 6 planetary system, solar system. It has no gas giant. Let me double check that, make sure I'm not crazy. It does have a gas giant. I had the map wrong. It's got 7 worlds, including a gas giant. And it's a binary star system.
A lot of binary star systems.
Yeah, indeed. In the first star system, it is a red dwarf star, and you actually pop out near the gas giant that is full of moons. This is less than ideal because that is plenty of cover for things to come out from behind.
Oh, man.
But it's ideal in that, and it's also not super ideal because let me figure out how far away you are. Let's see, you got a gas giant, and you got to get to there. So it is going to be... gas giant. It's going to be almost a week. Yeah, it's going to be like 100 hours to get to under thrust 1.
Are you going to tell us how much the fuel was on the last planet? I just want to...
How much it cost?
Yeah,
It'll be
the same
it'll
as
be a
before?
standard cost. Yeah.
Okay, so it was... Okay, and okay, I won't worry about it right now. Okay, well,
and then you get a contact. I guess I should mention that as well, huh? But they announce
yes.
themselves. And they're very far away. They are let's see, in relation to this gas giant, they are actually 100,000 kilometers, million. No, they're probably like 700,000 kilometers away, and they so this is obviously a military vessel, and they announce themselves. They say this is the oh, where the hell I lost it? They say incoming free trader ship. Please announce yourself. This is the IISS Alexandra.
Mind if I take this one, Marcello?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
Free Trader Lady of Mercia. Out of the bar, carrying passengers and light cargo.
Oh, greetings. You said Lady of Mercia, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, it's chicken. Okay. Greetings, Lady of Mercia. Actually, let me see. They say the scans here are clear. We can assure you should be safe on your if you're headed into Raleigh to Raleigh Prime. You shouldn't have any issues. Be careful on the planet, but we appreciate all the support you can give us out here.
Well, that's the plan. Thanks for the greeting.
And within a short period of time, they disappear from your sensors.
Before, all right. Well, are they? So are they? Did they turn around and go another way, or are they just passing us?
They seem to be kind of headed this way. Please let me draw this way. And there are, there's like a planet, a gas giant out here with all sorts of moons.
Okay. Well, before they disappear from our scopes is when I would like to just point the ship, take out maneuver and the other two, and plug in generate. Just get that done.
Yeah, okay.
And then replace it with the standard once that's over. Yeah, we're gonna have to keep like it might be different during, I don't know, but we're definitely gonna have to keep a watch on the bridge at all times during this trip.
All right. What's the course that you all are setting?
But do we not know where the main port is?
So you're going to the main port?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. So that will take you, I think I said 5 days, right? Let's see.
Yeah, 100 hours is what you said or so.
All right.
I think actually, if it's a long trip, how about we point the ship in a direction and coast for as long as we can?
You can do that. It will take longer.
Oh, okay. So I didn't know if we would lose.
Yeah, for however long you coast, you're not accelerating. So.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Yeah.
I got it. Okay.
But you could do that.
Well, no, I don't want to add more time.
Okay. As you pass, this takes about a day. You pass this gas giant. And unfortunately, there is a radar contact. They've been hanging out here. They announce themselves with a round of laser fire.
Well, this time we have auto evade. That should give them a static minus to their DM. I think it's a -2.
And let me check something
Yeah.
else. Okay, yep. -2 to the DM. Alright, and I'll roll in the open. -2 is 6, they miss in the first round. You are able to react then and act. What do you do first? What do you all think?
We have no choice but to evade.
Yeah.
Yep.
And so, for whatever it's worth.
You could make it to one of these moons in a series of rounds, I think. If that...
Marcello, you feeling lucky?
I always feel lucky.
All right.
Well, what we need to do is get... Oof. Yeah.
What are you thinking, Captain?
All right, what's happening? Where are we now, Ross?
I thought you were changing course toward one of those moons.
Can we tell what their thrust rating is?
It looks like thrust. Let me see here. Thrust 1.
Okay, well then we... Yeah, we go towards the moons then, and we try to lose them.
All right.
And at the same time, we send out a distress signal.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. So you send out a distress signal. You turn toward the moon, and you start heading towards it. In the second round, they do not fire. Instead, they start coming towards you. So let's see. We're going to advance this. They will kind of be like here, and all of this gets just a little bit closer. And they say, "Free trader, this is the Venom. Shut down your engines, surrender your passengers, or die."
Just terminate communication.
Nice.
Click.
And let's see. That will account for one more turn.
Okay, should we get the leader of the passengers?
Why?
Do you think it'd be helpful to know, like, who might be kidnapping them?
I think it's probably just some of the disgruntled people that you were talking to on the planet. I don't think the passengers will know anything about it. They seem pretty clueless as to the state of the sector.
How did
Uh,
how did uh how did these pirates know, or whoever these people are, know that we're carrying these passengers?
we don't know that they know that.
Well, they asked you to surrender your passengers.
Yeah, that's true. But
Yeah.
So
well, then that means that they have a mole inside of the, or they can hack comms.
8 minus 2, they miss again on this round.
Yeah.
And then
Yeesh.
something else happens. Via weapons fire, you detect another ship long out of range. There we go.
You mean to say that that ship is firing something?
Yeah, this
Firing at us?
no, this another ship appears. So you detect weapons fire, which announces it, but it's far. It's probably 800,000 kilometers out, and it fires this ship, missing it. And
Okay. We'll continue on towards the moons.
Yeah. Let's head toward that small moon.
that's no good.
No. We'll go towards the big moon, please. Whatever. We need to be able to
Just fly
hide. We need to be
casual.
able to, yeah, fly cat. We need to be able to hide, you know, like, or at least keep them going. If something's hunting them now, until we no longer detect them.
Alright, this causes the
Small
moons
moon,
to be
big
like
moon.
right
They're all
here.
pretty gigantic. I think we could hide. Hide behind any of them.
Alright, you're probably just a few out. And let's see, at this point, it's actually going to return fire against this vessel. Because
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe we turn around then? Go back, leave, and go back along our way?
laser return fire misses. And on their turn misses. They get much closer. You detect that they're moving a lot faster.
Good news. Can we see
Yeah.
what the class of ship is at this point?
That is a scout vessel. And at this point, is the general plan... I mean, I don't know. You're diving toward the moon so that you can try to avoid yourself.
Yeah, that was the plan, but then we had at least not an enemy show up. So I think the new plan is to try to head towards that friendly, but not directly towards them, like at an oblique angle,
I see
and
what
come
you mean.
around that leftmost moon.
Okay.
And then so we can put him between us and the bad guy, and then head on our way once we've made that turn. Make sense to everybody?
Yes.
All right. So you do that, and I'm going to resolve some things real fast here. So I'm just like fast forwarding it. So this is actually occurring over the next 2 hours.
Yep.
By the way, like submarine warfare is you just wait to see bink, bink, and you're waiting for these things and you're waiting for stuff to move into place, and all of a sudden you see something light up out in space, and the radar. Let me see what this ship does. It is suddenly in range. It hits twice. Let's see what it takes out.
What hits twice?
This vessel here. It announces itself on the same round. It says, Free Trader Lady of Mercia, this is the Alexandra. Occlude yourself behind the moon and shut down your systems. We'll contact you later. This is our problem.
Agreed. Lady of Mercia out.
We head for the moon now?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. Continue on our
All right.
on that plan. This time we'll shut her down instead of continuing on. We'll follow orders, I think.
Okay, this all takes like another hour or so. And you would not be able to see this happen, but let me see here. Because you would also be occluded.
Yes. How are the passengers doing?
You haven't been hit by anything yet, so they probably are completely ignorant about anything that's going on that you don't tell them.
I mean, they have an observation. I think there's a window up there.
I mean, they would have to be able to see a lance of laser fire out in space
Sure.
and then interpret what it is. But they could.
Yeah, true.
You know what? I'll roll for that in a second.
If they might notice that we turned and moved around and stuff like that.
Where is my? There it is. Gosh. Okay, I got 5 and 7. If you're curious, it takes out their hull and fuel. That's
not good.
Awesome.
Yeah,
not good for them.
That's enough of it to where eventually
They'll be dead in the water.
They're just gonna be dead in the water. There's some more fire after that. You don't know at this point. And then this ship comes back around and does a general call because it can't detect you. Because if you've went cold and went on auxiliary power, it won't be able to see you. So it announces, it's like, Lady of Mercia, please respond. Are you still there?
I'll nod at Marcello.
Lady of Mercia here. We're running dark.
But Lady of Mercia, this is the ISS Alexandra. The threat in the system has been neutralized. However, if you would like, we can provide you an escort closer to the planet. We can't guarantee that it's safe out here.
I'm not going to say no. So, yes, we would love an escort.
Okay. Yeah, they're kind of like duty bound. They can't just leave like after that's happened. So they take a detour as well to escort this civilian vessel closer to the planet for the next several days until...
I'm going to ask the captain, or whoever's on the line, what's going to happen to that ship you disabled?
If they don't run out of food or oxygen, they'll be taken into custody and charged under Imperial law as pirates.
Roger
And
that.
I cut in for a second. And I say, am I addressing the captain of the other ship, by the way?
You can, yeah, you can. Well, no, it'd be like a comms operator, comms operator.
Okay. This guy might not know anything of what's going on.
But he's an officer of the Imperial Navy, so he or of the Scout Service, so he knows. Yeah, he knows
all
what's
right.
going on.
The hostile vessel, when they hailed us, they indicated that we were to surrender our passengers. That's standard operating procedure for pirates in this system.
Silent for a while, and this takes. They have to get closer to you, and then the delay, gets reduced, and then they say, I would report that to the Imperial Lowport upon your arrival. And any other details that you have as far as what these pirates have said to you.
Will do.
So for the next few days pass, they're able to recommend changes in course. You have the benefit of a scout vessel sensor package, and eventually the planet comes into view, and you're probably about 3 hours out from deorbit, and they say, this is where we need to leave you, Lady of Mercia, but we hope that you have better travels than that in the future, and a safe journey.
One last question, Alexandria.
Aye.
Is there a ship weapons shop at the low port?
You won't find that here. At least not from anyone that you can trust.
Well, thanks anyway.
Alright, and you guys come in for a landing, and let's see here. This is a city world.
That scout ship saved our butts.
Yeah,
Sure did.
yeah, they did.
It's clear to you too that like either that had a I think this is my thought on it. They had either set up a sensor buoy, or they had some other kind of sensor package, because like they attacked you further out than like what their ship should have been able to have done. Something was going on with that too. That was a free trader, I think a fat trader is what it was.
Oh, fat trader, really?
The Venom?
The Venom was a 400-ton vessel.
Yeah, that's the fat trader.
All right, so you come in, and this place is a disaster. This place, it is. You can actually see gunfire and explosions in the distance as you're coming into land, and you can actually feel the percussive force of explosions further off in the distance. There are heaping piles of destroyed buildings and roads that you can see are closed, and wreckage and stuff. There are also, it looks full of security forces, checkpoints everywhere along roads, and armored convoys and things like that. You come into land at the low port. You come through, and you have the typical kind of like Imperial Starport uniforms. Now, this is not technically an Imperial world, but it's a client state. Like Walston was. And so the starport is owned by the Imperium, but then immediately after you pass through customs, there's just like security everywhere. And they have this typical kind of like black uniform, like very tactical, black uniform, black helmets, masks, and the atmosphere is kind of just like literally the physical atmosphere of the planet is gross. But you can breathe it for a little while. And when you escort your passengers out to the starport, they realize, they're like, oh no, this isn't what we planned. You see one of them working like a communicator, like a data pad type thing. One of them that's talking to like a security person nearby. The security person ignores them. Isabella is like, this isn't what we'd expected.
This looks like a full-out war situation.
Well, that we did expect, but what we didn't expect was our liaison's not here to meet us, and we can't reach them. And that's who's going to pay you also. And that's
I
where
stare-
that's where I'm going to end the session for the night.